Hey everyone, this is Jared here with Team Adventures with BG. Today I am out at Pedernales Falls State Park again. Pretty warm already. I am going to do the horse trail loop south, as by voted on by Instagram. So it's an 11-mile horse trail. It does allow horses, bikers, and hikers. It's the longest in the park. And so there's like over 30 miles of trail in this park. So if you need to do a shakedown for a backpacking trip, you can actually come out here and string these kind of together. I don't know what the views are going to look like. I've heard that it's very shaded, so I'm looking forward to that. So stay tuned and let's check out this trail. Okay, started the hike in that field. Now we're kind of on this little double track area. I am taking the loop that takes you over towards the main road. I'm hoping to get that out early. I just feel like all that asphalt is going to make it hotter in the evening or mid-morning, afternoon. So get it out of the way, and then hopefully I can walk all the shaded part in the high heat and suffer less back to my car. So I was wrong. This actually parallels the property line, and it's been incredibly shaded. It's pretty flat. It is listed as a moderate trail, but I think that's because of the distance. It may change once we kind of circle back and get back into the park, because this is near the Wolf Mountain area of the park. So I'm gonna keep taking this relaxing trail, try and quickly get to this part and save energy for something that may be harder and hotter. So we've gotten to the point where we are now paralleling the state park road. The county road will come later. We're gonna have to cross it here in a little bit. The sun is peeking up, so it's getting a little bit hotter. 0 clouds today, but thankfully there's a nice breeze, so I've got that going on for me. So a little more information about Pedernales Falls State Park. If you're trying to do big miles out here, it can be hard to do on just a day pass alone, especially in the hotter months. A lot of the parks have late and early check-in where you get a little piece of paper, you fill out your information. So if you already had a reservation or if you need to buy one, you just fill in your details. But since this park is so popular, they have check-in slots every 2 hours. And they have a kiosk machine, and it will not give you your reservation before 8 a.m. So it can be pretty hard to get in here when the sun is not at full blaze. So you've got to keep that in mind. It actually works better in most cases to get a campsite the night before. That way you're already checked in and you can do your big miles the next day. Looks like I'm coming up to the crossing. It's pretty busy at the moment. Hope I can get across. All right, I survived. I made it to the point where you parallel County Road 201. My least favorite part of the trail so far. Pretty exposed, and you get to hear cars come through, even though it's not a heavily used road, it's enough. And you have the power lines kind of paralleling, so there'll be a little bit of this before we cut into the woods, but I'm also glad I'm getting it done earlier in the hike than had I gone the other way, and I think it'd be slightly later. Over there is one of the parking trailheads for the Madrone Trail. It's kind of outside the main headquarters, but still inside the park. So if you do want to park there and use that trail, you got to go check in, get your pass, and then come back. Or if you can't, you know, camp, then come the next day, or whatever order you want, but you just have to have your reservation even to use that. It also means that I'm getting close to, I think, turning into the woods, so I can finally get back into some shade. Looks like I've made it to Polly's Horse Camp. I'm going to probably take a look around, see what's going on here, eat a quick snack before I get back to doing a hike. So I didn't get my wish of shade yet, but it does look like that trade-off is going to be kind of the area opening up and getting to see some views. So I don't know if you can see it, but it looks like that's probably the river valley up ahead. And I'm excited to get a glance at that. Over there, we see the kind of Wolf Mountain area and that trail. That's that raised point. We are coming down into Bee Creek here. Last time Waffle and I were out, if you want to check out our creek exploring video right here, we did explore some of the creeks out here, and almost all of them were dry. They had little pools and stuff, but no water flowing, so I'm hoping I'm going to get to see some water, but it's unlikely. You can always tell when we're coming up on these little creeks, and if they're more likely to have water, maybe be spring fed, because they get a bunch of grass growing out of them and they're very green. I'm not sure you can see it, but up on that hill, there's a line of cars. So that must mean the headquarters is there, and those people are checking in. So I didn't realize that the Wolf Mountain kind of area was this close to the headquarters, and down in that little valley you can see in their parking lot. Okay, coming up on another road crossing. This one is the one that is just inside the park after the headquarters, so less busy it looks like. A lot safer to cross today. Looks like this area now open, but burn damage. You can see it in a lot of the blackened trunks and dead trunks, so that's unfortunate, but I'm glad it was contained to a relatively small area. Well, I'm about less than 2 miles back to the trailhead. It's a loop, so back where I parked. Starting to think I may have gone the wrong way. This area is nice. It does have some flowers, but I've been exposed a long time, so at least on the fence, I think there may have been some shade. So if you do this in the sun, make sure I think it's best to go the opposite direction of the property line first. Finishing up on kind of a nice little area. Overall, this hike has not been beautiful, but it hasn't been ugly either, right? I don't know that I would do this one unless I had a couple of tasks in mind, like if I just need a long trail, if I'm doing a backpacking shakeout, if I just want some solitude. I saw like no one on this side, so it was nice to have the trail to myself. So there are some very good reasons to hike this trail. Looks like some old fencing. Coming up to the corral. You can see it over there. I guess if you have horses, you can stable them there. Do whatever horse stuff you need. And just on the other side of that is going to be the trailhead. Finally done. Little over 12 miles, about 12.1, 12.2 by the time I make it to the car. A lot of it was in the 90s. Thought this trail was going to be a little more shaded than it was. It may have been at one point, but we did go through that burned area at the very end. So you got my thoughts. Beautiful. It's okay. Not ugly, not great. There were some views and some cool stuff. I bet when there's after a rain, it's even better. But if you need a long trail, this one's going to be pretty good for any sort of training because it's not too rugged. So to let you kind of build up to harder stuff, and it's a good length. So make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more, and make sure you join me on my next adventure.